Hello chess friends and welcome to Jozarov's chess channel and welcome to my series Let's Find the Best Move. So if you know, in this series I will set up 5 examples for you. We have this tactical or this strategical problems in the middle game or in the later stage of the game in the end game. And when we have tactical problems, when we have maybe some tactics in which we can create maybe some checkmates or gain huge material, then we have always these tactical sequences like 4 or 5 moves. They have a starting start of the sequence, and they'll have also an ending of the sequence. But I think the strategical problems in the middle game are much more important, because when we face a stronger opponent and we don't solve strategical problems like an isolated pawn, like the king in the center, maybe we have a bad piece, then I'm sure you will lose the game against this player, because he'll punish you because having this strategical problems in the middle game. And here is the first example. I've created again 5 examples for you. I've been asked now to make maybe even 10 examples, but I think 5 examples per day will be perfectly fine. I'll try to do these videos in daily basis. 5 examples, I think, perfectly fine. You can have really a nice theoretical, strategical and tactical knowledge. Try to solve them, get your time, take your time, and here really try to not use engines and find the best continuation. So the first example, it's a game played by Alexei Shirov here with the white pieces. Try to find the best continuation. And again, I'm pointing out not all of these examples are leading into immediately winning positions for any of the sides. It's about solving strategical problems, because there is one strategical problem here, that black has already occupied the c file. So I hope you found the best continuation here, because of course we have to compete here with the rook on the c file to make something happen here. But the more important question here is with which rook should we play on c1, with the rook from a1 or with the rook from f1 on c1. So while playing in the middle game, it's always important to have this so-called rook connection. The rook connection is a very important strategical element in the opening or in this endgame stage. Here we have the possibility to play, of course, rook from a to c1. But there is a problem, strategical problem. If we play b5, then we don't have a good square for a queen. Queen on b3 is dangerous, because knight on b6 can happen, and then knight on c4. So that's why here we have even the possibility to play a queen on d1, but the queen on d1 is too passive now, and we have lost now our very important rook connection, because now the queen is in between, and we haven't solved all of the problems in the continuation. So that's why the better move is rook from f to c1, and now after something like b5 happens, we have rook queen on d1, and now we still have the rook connection. So now it's us that we're having now this important domination on the c file, and now black has some troubles in the continuation, because here he can try maybe to play bishop on e7, but now after something like knight on e2, black has lost the battle on the c file. So this is very, very important. This was the first example. I hope you solved this problem. As said, rook from f to c1. Nothing special has happened here, but here after something like as I said, b5, we still have the rook connection, which is a very important element of this endgame stage. So let's see now another example. Here is a tactical problem. It's not a strategical. Here you have a winning combination. Again, pause the video and try to win this game immediately. Okay, take your time. Don't use engines, which is more important, I think. I hope you found this tactical shot. It's a very nice move. Knight on h3 here. Of course, if you take, then you get checkmated here on h2. So if you play bishop on e2 to connect here somehow the rook and have this defensive setup, then try to pause the video again and find now the best move. It's a very nice checkmate pattern, sort of. And it's a so-called modern mate with queen on g1, rook takes on g1 has to be played, and now we have a knight on f2. It is game over. Okay, let's see now another example. Here is a game played with white pieces by Kambez Nuri, and all of these games, as I said, will be in the description below, so maybe you can check it out, watch the whole games, analyze it for yourself, see how this position went into this particular tactical or strategical possibilities. Here again, I want to pause the video and find the best continuation. So the problem here is if we take immediately the knight, then we have queen on g5 after something like f takes, oh, it comes with a check, so f takes g7 is not a possibility, king on b1, and now we have even g takes f6 or queen on f6. Black is continuing the game with the bishop pair, so this would be not something that is favorable for white. I think here, I think it's black that has the advantage. So try to find, after this move bishop on c6 that was played here by black, the best continuation. So okay, let's see. Here is the problem. Black has this weak square on d6. We would love, of course, to play something like knight on b5 and occupy this square on d6. The problem is that black hasn't also developed this bishop, and he hasn't castled so far. So immediately it's possible to play the move knight on b5, because in the continuation, if you try here like bishop on b5, then you can simply take e takes f6, something like bishop on c6 has to be played. You cannot take, of course, the bishop on f1, then you get checkmated here on d7. So it's very, very tricky. Here the continuation in the game, bishop on c6 was played, and now h4. I think now, after this couple of moves, white has the advantage, because still we have some possibilities to create dangerous threats on the d file, and this king is still in danger. So that was all possible because we played this very, very aggressive move, knight on b5. As I said, if you try to escape with your knight, then again maybe you can try something like knight on g, but now knight on d6 is very dangerous. As I said, this was our main goal, to place our knight on this very active square. After bishop on d6, here you see we have queen takes on d6, and this is very dangerous because you have really some huge dark square problems in the continuation. We have now even the possibility to play bishop on c4, and here maybe even play sacrifice on e6. So here was the move, the best move, knight on b5, and I'm pointing you out, this is not immediately winning combination, but it gives you a huge strategical advantage in the continuation of the game. So let's go to an endgame stage. Here it's a game played by these two top engines, Lilienstein versus Stockfish. And here is one problem for white. White is up the exchange, has the rook for the bishop, but there is a problem when you face two bishops and you have none. Then you have some problems. It's always hard to battle against the bishop pair. Here I want you also to pause the video and try to find the best continuation, try to find a simplification, which is also a very nice strategical element in endgames. Simplification is, I think, a great element of chess, because sometimes we overcalculate ourselves, sometimes we try to see if that happens, so then we have maybe some other possibilities. But here it's really a nice simplification of the position, because here Lilienstein played the very nice move rook on d5. After bishop takes on d5, we have rook takes on d5. After e takes d5, we are going now into a favorable endgame here for white, because black has here 5 pawn islands, and which are really the weakness in the continuation. The more important thing is that we have now the pawn on the light square, so it cannot be attacked by the bishop. Here is a weak pawn. After a couple of moves, we can even take this pawn and really win this game very easily. Although you still have to struggle for a win, but I think a simplification here is perfectly fine, because the activity of these bishops is also sometimes a thing that you have to worry about, because if the rook comes somehow maybe into the game, if we open here maybe the position for the light square bishop with something like h3, then this knight is loose a little bit. So there are really some great tactical possibilities maybe here for black. I think here the best continuation is to simplify the position after rook takes on d5. But let's see now how Lilienstein won this game. Here after knight takes a4, we have the king on h6, knight on f3, so we are pawn up. We cannot really count these two pawns like 2 pawns, because these are basically 1 pawn. They're not on other files, they're on the same files, or we have a double pawn situation, which is of course not good, although the material is equal, but the activity of the knight is too much to handle, I think, here for black, and also these weaknesses in black's position, these weak pawns are also something that you have to worry. So in the game, bishop on b6, king on f1, here simply g3, king on g6. Now Lilienstein played a couple of moves here, knight on d4, also sort of a blocking system. Here we have king on g6, knight on e6, attacking the bishop, bishop on b8, but now the king comes into the game very actively, and see how good this knight and this pawn are connected, sort of, because they are restricting both of the squares for the king, and the king is out of game. So in the game, bishop on e5 was played. Now king on f3, we have f5, we have knight on f4, we have king on g5, but now knight on h3. Here we simply take, and now g4. Now we have a strategical element which is called two connected pass pawns. So of course white has now a completely winning endgame here. King on f6, we have king on e3, and now f4. I'm not going to show you now the whole endgame. When we manage to do this, advance 2 pawns, have them connected, I think this is now really a winning endgame here for white. If you try here d4, it's not a problem. We can centralize our king on e4, and simply push these pawns with the support of the knight. This is completely winning endgame here for white. So at the end, we have the toughest, I think, of these examples. Here it's a very interesting game, and try to find now the best continuations. It's not so easy to find this best move. Take your time, pause the video, and try to calculate all of these tactical possibilities now in the game, because this next move is a stunner. It's really a great move that opens the position, and here it's a game played by Ruslan Ponomarov, also top grandmaster. Try to find really the best continuation. Try to see where are your advantages, where you have this problems in your position, because the main problem, I think, in white's position is this bishop on c4. So we have a perfect coordination of pieces. The bishop is on a good square, the queen on d3 is on a good square, the knight on f3 is on a perfect square, is on a starting square, but we have also a very powerful rook connection. We have supported pass pawn here on d5, and also this rook on e1 is placed very well, because it's dominating on the e file. So I hope you found this best move, because as I said, when we evaluate positions by the activity of our pieces, you should always try to improve your last piece, your last active piece. So this last active piece is the bishop on c4, so it's not active at all. And in order to activate it, here Ruslan Ponomarov finds a very nice tactical shot. He plays rook on e6. I hope you found this move. It was really hard, I think. But now let's see possible continuation. If you try f takes e6, then we have here d takes e6. If you try king on h8 to escape, then we have queen on d6, and you see the problems. We have also the powerful battery on the d file. We have even possibilities to play something like e7, so this would be game over. So in the game, if you try knight on f6 instead of this king on h8 to get out of this mess, then we have here a very nice move, e7, discover the attack, and you lose the queen. So great move here, rook on e6, and that's why here knight on f6 was played here by black. Try again to find the best move, because now our rook is really exposed. Now bishop on e6 is a huge threat, or in f takes e6, because now here the light square bishop is now discovered. Now the bishop can participate in the defense. Here in the game, rook takes on d6 was played by Ruslan Ponomarov. Very nice. After queen on d6, we have bishop on e5. Here we have queen on d8. There was really no better square. If you try queen on e7, then you have the fork again. If you try queen on d7, again you blocked out your own bishop. Here bishop on f6 is the threat to weaken the pawn structure, which is also a very important element. Here in the game, queen on d8 was played, and now knight on g5. Now again we have this possibilities to play something like d6, but also create a very powerful attack on f7. In the game, g6 was played. Here we have bishop takes on c7, queen takes on c7, and now d6 by Ruslan Ponomarov. Here we have queen on d7, and again this queen is blocking out its own bishop, so that's why here rook on e8, e1, very important move to now activate our rook here with the move rook on e7, and then attack this f7 weakness. So you see how this bishop on c4, it was the worst piece on the board, now it's the best piece on the board because of this rook on e6 move. In the game b5 was played, but now not a problem. Bishop takes on b5. Here we have queen on g4, now knight on e4, trading off some more pieces. We have queen on g5 with the preparation to play queen on c1, but not a problem. We have f4. This pass pawn is now our best piece on the board in the game. Queen on f6, and now d7, bishop on b7, and now rook on e8, queen on a1, not a problem, but we have queen on f2, and in this position black resigned. You don't have good checks anymore. We can hide our king here on g3, or we can even try to cover. If something like queen on b2, we can even cover here, and it's game over. Okay, I hope you enjoyed these examples. I hope you got 5 out of 5. This, I think, were really good examples. We'll try to do more of these videos. I try to make these videos in daily basis, but I think 10 examples would be too much for you to solve at home. 5 examples are perfectly fine. I think that's where with these examples you can really improve your strategical and tactical skills. Here in this position we have this rook connection element with rook on after c1. In this position we have a tactical shot, the smother made. In this examples we have this battery on the d file, and the activation of pieces was very important. Here we have the simplification, in which we have this endgame strategy of simplification, simple playing, connecting 2 pass pawns, also very nice strategical element. And in this particular example we have the activation of this light square bishop, which became now really the best piece on the board. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video. Meanwhile, you can watch my other videos from this Find the Best Move series, and you can also watch my Basics in Chess series, in which I show you opening principles, middle game strategies, and the endgame strategies. And you can also watch my chess tactics and chess puzzles videos, in which I show you all of the possible tactical motifs that can happen in a chess game. See you soon with some more videos, and chess is the best, of course.